And welcome back! We're here with Dubster Dive, series where break down English dubs, and I cried at the end.
All aboard the Plebeian Express.
Yes, all aboard the Plebeian Express. Especially if you live in an apartment. Oh, I'm sorry, an aggregate commoner dwelling. Okay, we should probably explain for those who are very confused by that intro. So welcome back to our second stop on this year's Mignogna March, Ouran High School Hosts Club. And if you somehow haven't heard of this anime, how? Even if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you've at least heard of it somewhere. Especially here in the
There's
US.
nothing but memes of it everywhere.
Yeah, this show was massive in the US. Ironically enough, in Japan, it kind of flopped. Which would explain why it never got a sequel season. Though from what you're telling me...
Wonderland thing.
Yep. And DBZ Kai. I heard DBZ Kai did way better here than it did in Japan as well.
I mean, I see why DBZ Kai, of all things, didn't do well.
Its dub was at least better, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, so... Ouran High School Hosts Club. So basically, it's, about a bunch of cute dudes, or hot dudes, depending on your perspective, that form a club together where they basically play host to a bunch of women. It's every fangirl's fantasy. And, yeah. At Ouran Academy, it's for all the rich assholes of the world, right, Dai? You're a rich asshole. Everyone's a rich wait a minute. I don't think any of us are rich. Oh.
Well, I guess if scrapping by is rich, then sure.
Aren't we all? Anyway. So, yeah, all of our main characters are part of the prestigious families, except our main character, Haruhi. She managed to get in on good grades alone, as some very few lucky transfer students managed to do. Only get in on good grades. Unfortunately, though, she ends up running into the host club, breaking an 8 million yen vase, or vase, depending on your persuasion, and she's forced to work for them to pay off her debt by cross-dressing as a host herself. And yeah, nonsense ensues from there. We'll get to each character in a second.
Most of them are idiots.
More of the history. The mangaka is named Bisco Hattori. Her first work was Millennium Snow, which is referenced here a couple of times. Isn't that a famous movie they mentioned in this universe?
Yes.
And yes, you can make a Hellsing reference because the Nazis were after the Millennium. Yes. Yes, I did. Anyway, it was inspired by something called Please Save My Earth, which I think is like an 80s manga, I don't fucking know. And the manga would run from '02 to 2010, with an anime by Studio Bones in 2006. With Funny's dub coming in 2008, and Funimation still hold on to it to this day.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So, now we got the plot breakdown, the history out of the way. Dai, how's the animation? It's Studio Bones, and I've heard everyone say it's good. Which means you're gonna say it's shit, aren't you?
I mean, it's not like it's there to stand out. They just do the typical thing you would do in a comedic show like this.
Well, it's supposed to be overly bright, colorful, and all the characters are supposed to look really flashy.
Yeah, but they also like to do animation loops and blah 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 like that for comedic effect.
Yeah, and it's Bones. I don't think Bones have animated anything shit. My Villain Academia doesn't count! Stop it! Nope. We're gonna pretend that little thing didn't happen.
Yeah, but could they stop it with a pointless filler that allegedly led into their stupid movie? Anyways.
No, pointless filler is what we talk about in the spoiler section. Dai, we're not there yet.
Aww.
As far as the OST, I think it works. I mean, based on the ep commentaries on the Blu-ray, a lot of the Vuz seem to like it too. It has the whole... It fits with the posh upper class setting.
Yeah. And then like the show we just covered before, last time it uses the OP and endings as OST.
Yep. But hey, last time we had to do with themes of breaking one's limits and pushing yourself to pursue your dreams. This time it's about self-acceptance, which means Ouran's universe is a lot like Persona 4. You have to accept yourself. You're going to have to beat the shit out of yourself.
Yeah.
What? What did I say?
Or you just throw a hooker into a TV. Either way works.
I wonder if that means Persona 4 will be coming at some point in this month, since with that segue. Who knows? But what I do know is, it's time to get into why this is called Dubster Dive. Talk about the English dub, which, most people agree that this dub is really damn good, and they're not wrong. This is easily one of Funimation's best dubs, but again, it came out during that time period where every dub was really good from every studio, so...
Yeah. Now we're in the dark ages.
We really are. So first we have the ADR director, Caitlin Glass, who also casted herself as Haruhi. How dare you? I mean, you'd all probably know her as Winry from FMA, as well as Lilith from Absolute Duo, her most famous role in the most famous anime, right?
Yes. Or they might be, or they might be one of the worst Street Fighter characters on screen right now.
Hey, Cammy's hot.
Fight a Cammy and then tell me that.
Cammy's not. Anyway... Caitlin Glass did explain on one of the commentaries, which, yeah, I know people want me to mention who's on all of them. I will at the end of this, for those who are curious. But she did mention that she did have to audition to get the role. So it's not like she did cast herself. The line producer, Mike McFarlane, did sit through all the auditions for Haruhi to make sure it was fair. And she did win. So take that for what it's worth. The very least with this show, yeah. And I do agree, it was perfect casting. This is easily one of her best roles. She does a great job making Haruhi sound... The fuck is the word? I guess... What? Androgynous when Haruhi's cross-dressing?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the best term for it. So... I don't know. Haruhi was really good casting. But after her, we have the main man himself, Tamaki. So Tamaki's personality... she mentioned Haruhi's the one who believes in accepting yourself. Her lines are, basically, gender doesn't matter with a person. People are more than just their genders and everything else. If only people today knew that lesson. Sorry.
No, that's silly.
Now, Tamaki's an idiot. He's the president of the host club, and...
Air quotes.
I mean, he is the one who formed it.
I mean, he's president in name only.
Yeah. And, well, they basically describe the archetypes themselves, because this series is meant to satirize the whole Shojo manga scene and reverse harem thing. He's the princely type. He even makes lines like, "Oh, it is such a crime that God would make a star as beautiful as moi." And Tamaki is, of course, voiced by Vic Mignogna. You all know him. The only voice of Rampo from Bungo Stray Dogs, which is probably the closest you're going to get to seeing more Tamaki, honestly. What, Rampo acts a lot like Tamaki. You know he does, man. You've seen Bungo.
Or is that just what you want me to think?
Most people would agree that this is easily one of Vic's best roles, and you can tell that he's loving every second of it. In fact, both him and Caitlin Glass even said when the show was coming out in Japan, they couldn't wait to get their hands on the show and were begging someone to get the rights to dub it so they could be in it. Yeah, this was a passion project for both of them. And she even said she didn't cast Vic right away because Caitlin Glass herself said she hates pre-casting when it comes to ADR directing. That she thinks it's nice to be fair and listen to everyone's audition first to see who'd be best fit to suit the role. If only films today did that.
Well, what do you expect dubs today to try?
Yeah. I mean, hey, Vic himself would say that he sees Tamaki as an amalgamation of some of his earlier roles, such as the Playboyisms of Dark from DNA Angel. We did cover that, shameless plug-in. Yeah.
Plug-ins.
His dialect of trying to speak all fancy like Five from Tsubasa. We'll have to get there eventually. And his freakouts like Ed from FMA. He believes Tamaki is all of those rolled up into one. And yeah, I can kind of see it.
And also a little bit of brawling.
You mean when he talks in his deep-ass voice when he's like, it's time to get serious?
I mean, he does it like 3 times in that only one episode.
Yeah, Tamaki's an idiot, but he's the lovable kind of idiot who means well. It's the reason the host club put up with his shenanigans. Because at the end of the day, he just wants to do the right thing and be friends with everybody. So, yeah.
I knew he was an idiot, but I can't believe he's such a dumbass.
Damn it. Speaking of that quote, next we have Kyoya, who is Tamaki's opposite every way. He's the straight man of the crew. So, he's the one that basically is the no-nonsense member of the club, and the one who handles all the club's finances, and he's basically the shadow king of the club, as Haruhi puts it. He runs things behind the scenes and makes sure the club doesn't fall apart. And he's voiced by J. Michael Tatum, who you'd all probably know as Kraft Lawrence from Spice and Wolf. That's a show we're definitely covering at some point. Or Scar from FMA Brotherhood, which... Not a fan of his Scar, I'm going to be honest. I think D'Artagnan Nickelback was better.
Are you going to keep referring to him?
I am going to keep referring to Damian Clark as that, yes. Because that alias is so fucking weird. Anyway, this is another one where this is one of Michael Tatum's best roles, too. Again, he does fucking great in this role. One of the best scenes, honestly, is a flashback episode where him and Tamaki first meet, and I guess you could say they get into a pseudo fight, and you see Kyoya get pissed off at Tamaki. And it's a really well dubbed scene. And hey, even on one of the commentaries, they even go over the fact how Kyoya seems like the perfect opposite to Tamaki. Even in the voice actor-wise, in my opinion, I mean, one's straight, one's gay. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to.
Yeah.
Nah, but jokes aside, Michael Tatum did a fucking awesome job as Kyoya. I don't really have any complaints about him. Besides, Kyoya's edgy. At least some fangirls would probably say that.
Well, they also probably like that.
Exactly.
Have you seen a Scourge the Hedgehog?
Next, we have Mori, who's the strong, silent one of the group, and we mean that literally. He barely talks.
He's lucky if he has one word an episode.
Yeah.
So, most of the time, it's just a grunt an episode.
Mori is voiced by Travis Willingham, who you'll probably know as Ace from One Piece, or his most famous role, Cunningham from Trauma Team. Is that series even a thing anymore?
Probably not.
And about his performance, I don't know what y'all want me to say. He literally just goes, yes. And, Like, hell, fucking Akira from High Score Girl probably has more dialogue than him. And she's a mute.
Okay, let's not get crazy.
I was doing that as a joke, man. People know I'm not serious. Besides, he goes into some tangents here or there. But, yeah...
Especially when he's overshadowed in his own episode by another character. Oh.
Yeah, poor Takashi Mori-Nizuka. That's his full name, but everyone just calls him Mori. Speaking of which, the one he's paired with... Mitsukuni Honey-Nizuka, or Honey Senpai. A weapon of mass destruction! Okay.
So silly.
I guess we have to explain. Honey Senpai is the oldest member of the group. I am not joking, even though he's called the Lolly Boy. I think you all know what quota he's supposed to fill.
Very specific one.
Yeah, he's the Shoto of the group.
One man's trash is another man. Anyways.
He's so Moa, you could get diabetes just from looking at him.
You can get diabetes from just watching how much cake he eats.
Yeah, the reason they did the whole mass destruction thing, apparently Honey Senpai is so good at martial arts, they had to ask him not to practice it anymore. Because he's so powerful that if it got out how powerful he was at his maximum, he could upset the balance of power for the countries around the world.
Literally.
Did we mention this show is over the top stupid in the fun way?
Literally words spoken.
So who did they get to play the Moe Blob? They got Lucy Christian. You know, Nagisa from Clannad, speaking of Moe Blobs. Or Satsuki from Classroom of the Elite. That was edgy trash for you in the fun way.
That was definitely a show.
Hey man, we get more of it later this year, I'm not complaining. Anyway. Yeah, she does an awesome job as Honey. I think she was a perfect choice. If you wanted someone to voice a character who's overly moe and in your face about it, where every time they're on screen, you're just going to get a huge OD of, I guess, cuteness or whatever you want to call it. That or you'll just get Honey Senpai Judo throwing someone like 8 times his size, because of fucking course she will.
We're watching the wrong show. Sure, we're still not on Kenichi.
Yeah. Anyway. After him, we have the twins. First, we have Hikaru, who's the emotional twin that gets irritated very easily. He's voiced by Todd Abercorn, who we just covered as Nijima last time.
Yeah, Nijima, this is not pale enough for surpass.
I mean, hey, Skune from Rosario Vampire. Which, why isn't that show got a 3rd season yet? Real show's coming back.
Because...
I miss Mizure, don't judge me. He's also Takimaru from Toriko, and oh shit, that's a show I gotta cover at some point. Damn it.
It was a show like any other.
That Funimation forgot about. Anyway.
Everyone forgot about it. It's okay.
You could tell this is one of Todd's earlier roles. Like, he's more, I think, subdued or held back in this one. He's not bad, it's just, yeah. Even on the commentary, you could tell he's not 100% confident, I guess would be the word to use.
Confidant.
But yeah, he's still good as Hikaru. After him, we have the other twin, Kaoru, who's the one more level-headed. And we all do love level-headed people, right? Right? Anyway. Karu is voiced by Greg Aris. Speaking of Dead Man Wonderland, it's Gunta. He's also Chrono from Chrono Crusade, which that's a show we're definitely covering at some point.
Except he doesn't tell a crowd of people to suck his cock.
Dead Man Wonderland was fucking awesome, man. That show needs a remake. Oh yeah, and he's Nagisa from Free, speaking of the whole, Fujoshi baiting.
Freedom!
But yeah. One of the things, apparently, the twins all have to talk at the same time with a lot of their lines. And sometimes they did record this at the same time from what I looked up. But other times, according to the commentaries, Todd would record his lines first, and then Greg would have to come in the booth and match Todd's, I guess, cadence and delivery, or vice versa. And both of them said they had a lot of fun trying to match each other in this regard, where whoever recorded first that day would have to match the other one later.
Oh. So that gave him an incentive to show up first. I got you.
Yep. In fact, it was either Greg or Todd. One of them basically said that they didn't have to worry about watching the lip flaps on screen. They just had to listen to what the other person said and then match those words perfectly instead. So,
at least sometimes they do that.
Yeah. Which, you all know why twins are here. To do the Twincest RP for some of the women that show up at the host club. Yep. It is very awkward and very hilarious. So, yeah.
Yeah, the people that show up to that club are a bunch of freaks. Anyways.
Don't make fun of Fujoshis. Fujoshis love you, dog.
Wait.
What? I mean, those are the main people who show up to see the twins at the host club.
No. Really?
Anyway. Those are all the main hosts and the main cast. As far as major other characters to bring up, first is Haruhi's dad, who works at a drag bar. Or, as they put it, a tranny bar. Those are their words, Twitch, not mine. And, yeah, obviously he cross-dresses or whatever. And, of course, he's voiced by Mike McFarlane, because it's not like Mike McFarlane has played these type of characters a bunch of times, like in Fruits Basket. But his most notable role is Gary from Baki the Grappler. Or he's Crow from Show by Rock. That too, I guess. Oh, there's that. And, yeah, when he sees the host club being overly friendly with Haruhi, particularly Tamaki, he does the whole doting father thing and gets pissed off. Again, you can tell Mike's having a lot of fun with this role, too.
Fun, fun, fun.
Fun, fun, fun. But after him, do you know what time it is for Dai? It is time for Nekozawa. You two right now can buy Belzanov and curse your enemy.
Oh, I was about to say Martin time, but I guess that works.
Okay, so Nekozawa is the head of, what is it, like the occult club or whatever the fuck it is?
Yeah.
And he shows up from time to time to fuck with people.
He has one of the dumbest episodes.
Yeah, he can't be in light at all. The light frightens him because he's a vampire.
Not a vampire.
No, he's just an idiot.
So it's par for the course.
And he's voiced by Patrick Seitz. Speaking of vampires, let's see. Luke Valentine from Hellsing, Dio from JoJo, Dracula from the Symphony of the Night redub, and Rondo Blood dub. Why has he voiced so many fucking vampires?
Because of the blood fridge.
Ragnar the Blood Edge. Yeah, see, there's another one. That's more of a Dampier, I guess, but...
Yeah, close enough. No one will know the difference.
But he's also Mario and Be the Beginning, which, why haven't we watched yet? I heard that show was decent, too. So many anime. And yeah, it's Patrick Seitz giving an edgelord performance. and being over-the-top comedically stupid when sunlight hits him, including when he gets a flashlight shined on him.
Yeah.
God, this show is weird. Anyway, last out of the main cast, finally here. Someone who is, according to you, from what you looked up, 90% filler in the anime version, right?
Yes. Can you not tell that based on their appearances?
We have Renge. Renge is a Kyoya fangirl who ends up showing up to the host club and ends up becoming their manager in Fillerland, at least. And she's insane. Full-on stalker insane.
Yeah.
So, of course, who better to get to play a psycho than someone who is most definitely a psycho? Hey, Monica Royale, how you doing? Y'all would probably know her as Index from the Certain franchise, or the 18th voice of Bulma.
Clearly a master of relevance.
And, hey, she said herself, she admitted it on her commentary here, that she has a much easier time playing psychos for some reason.
Or imitating life.
And I can't front, to be honest, this is one of her better performances, but that is probably because she's channeling some of herself here. Take your pick on that one.
And the character just exists anyways.
Yeah. She shows up basically to exposit the different tropes of a shoujo anime/manga and then piss off. Like, if you ever wanted to hear Monica lecture you on the differences of Shota, there you go. You get that here. Yeah, I didn't really want that either. Anyway. As far as the rest of the cast, Caitlin Glass said she went out of her way to get as many people from OG Fruits Basket in here as possible. So you get Kyle Abear voicing a similar character from Fruits Basket.
Essentially the same character.
You got John Bergmeyer, Kent Williams, Jamie Markey voicing an SJW, so playing herself.
So the same character.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. I mean, that episode is hilarious where her and the rest of them show up from the rival school of nothing but women. And the host club decide to cross-dress or whatever. So yes, you do get all of them talking like and pretending to be women. So it is kind of hilarious with that. As far as other things to point out with the dub, I mean, apparently the character Ayame that shows up in the flashback for Kyoya's episode was voiced by someone named Jay Dunn, and according to Caitlin Glass, was someone from the Make-A-Wish Foundation whose only request was to be in the Ouran dub. So they let her be someone that basically just grunts a little bit. Either way, though, she was still part of the project she wanted to be, so I don't know whether to say points to Funny for that or points to Caitlin Glass. You guys pick.
Probably the second one. Because Funny doesn't exist anymore.
You're right, they're dead. How'd I forget? As far as other things of note, I mean, hey, Chris Sabat was in this show. He was in the episode focused on Mori. And he said he had a shit ton of trouble saying Mori's full name. He couldn't say Takashi Morinazuka, apparently, and kept having to do numerous takes for that. He also said that people were asking him before the show was even dubbed at conventions if he was going to voice Mori, which I don't think that really would have changed anything if he were Mori in some other universe. Mori doesn't even talk.
Mostly, anyways.
Yeah. I guess the last thing of note for the dub, that's a tidbit before we get into spoiler section, and then we'll close it out by saying who's on each turkey, I guess, is Leah Clark's character. There's a scene in the Alice in Wonderland episode that makes everyone, when they watch it, feel like they're on drugs, where she's rambling profusely non-stop, and apparently she did that all in one take. So, props to her, I guess.
So is Mogular's full name. What's your point?
Hey, man. We're not talking about Tales of Berseria here. I mean, hey, Monica Royale said most of her rantings as, Renge were, you know, basically on the spot. Believe what you will on that one, though. It is Monica, and she's known to be a bullshit artist. So...
No way. Really?
But yeah. As you could tell from what we've been saying, this dub had a lot of work and effort put into it, clearly. You could tell everyone involved really cared about the show and did their damnedest to do their best with what they were given. There is some ad voice recycling, but I don't think it's enough to really bitch about.
And it was before they hired 1,000 employees that they never use.
Yep. Oh, and if anyone's gonna ask, before we get into spoilers, who the MVP of the dub is, it's fucking Vic as Tamaki. Caitlin Glass's Haruhi does get a come in closely second, but everyone knows that this is one of Vic's best roles. Even people who haven't seen the show know him for this role. I mean, hell, Vic even covered the official Tamaki theme song that was created for this show specifically, where it's just Tamaki going on about how amazing he is at life. I don't know, can you tell he loved this role?
No, sounds silly.
But alright. If you want to look for something that's really fun, it's on Netflix. Highly recommend this show.
Now.
Yeah. That's where we watched it. It's also on Blu-ray or whatever, too.
Also, it didn't even have the fucking funny look.
It had the Madman Entertainment logo. That was fucking weird.
Well, I guess we know where Netflix got it from.
I didn't know we had a VPN turned on for this. We're watching it out of Australia, man! But yeah. There are some issues, we'll get into spoilers, but not enough, I'd say, to ruin the whole show. I highly suggest watching it. The show is hilarious, its comedic moments land, some of its serious moments land really well, too. And, I mean, we could gush about the dub all day. Dub's really fucking good. So, go check it out. Especially if you want one of Vic's best roles. Alright, Di, you ready to bitch about filler?
What? What's wrong with filler? Oh, it's a filler that misses the point of the show, isn't it?
Yep. So, the last 2 episodes of the show were a filler ending, apparently, much like Renge's appearances, or 90% of them at least. And their idea for a filler is to do literally what the show pokes fun at. One of the most cliche, overdone things in a harem setting. Arranged marriage with the main character where he or she is forced to marry an asshole that's irredeemable, and their love interest has to snap them out of it and force them to wake up and realize they're being an idiot for going along with it. Yes, I fucking hate this trope, because I have seen it everywhere.
IP5.
Even Spirit Chronicle is fucking doing... Spirit Chronicle is a rant for a different day. Let's see.
It's okay. You'll know he's having fun with it when I dropped it after 3 episodes and didn't look back.
I should have joined you. Anyway, this trope is just so annoying. Like, why can't at least once they make the person that they're supposed to be arranged to marry be a nice guy or a nice chick or whatever? That way it could make the decision that much harder for the person to actually be like, you know what, I don't know if I want this, but it's not like I want to break the person's heart or anything. No, they make them an irredeemable asshole.
All fiction, I might have seen that like one time.
I can't even think of a time I have seen it.
But it was also handled poorly, so they made the person rejecting them look like an asshole instead.
Yeah. So, I guess we should explain. Tamaki's grandmother shows up out of nowhere, and she's a bitch to him, because of course she is. So she forced him and his mother to separate. I'm giving you all the abridged version. So his mother is back at the main estate that he grew up in France, because Tamaki's half French. And she says, marry this woman from a prestigious family, and I'll let you see her mom again. Oh, by the way, the woman's a cunt and doesn't want you to hang out with any of your old friends. Have fun with that. And it's like, really? This is the best you guys could come up with for a two-part finale?
Were your writers adapting the last 24 episodes, just going through the motion, not paying attention to the themes of the show? No.
To be fair, there are still some fun moments in this, like when Haruhi yells at Kyoya's dad, saying that in her opinion Kyoya's amazing and she doesn't give a shit what he thinks, that he should learn to accept Kyoya for who he is. So it's like they were partly paying attention to the themes, while also ignoring other aspects of the show.
While also going full generic trope that no one asked for and they do nothing but make fun of.
Yeah, it even culminates in the climax with the members of the host club all chasing after Tamaki, with some of them getting held back slowly but surely, all of them making a path for Haruhi to run on by herself to save Tamaki all alone. Yeah, I'm sure no one's seen this shit before.
Over 100,000 times.
And then at the end, when Tamaki does decide to go back to the host club with Haruhi, his betrothed is like, huh, he's such a fool. I was offering him a chance to see his mother. But you know, I can't say I'm angry about this. And it's like, you know, you could just stop being a bitch and surprise him, letting him see his mother anyway. You're not going to do that, are you? You're just going to be one-dimensional. Alright, cool, fuck off. Let's never see you again. The reason we're harping on these two episodes so much is because the first 24 episodes are really solid, and it just spits in the face of that. And it makes you think, this is it?
To a flashback episode.
A really good one, too. The Kyoya and Tamaki episode is really well done and shows the formation of the host club. So, I don't know. Maybe you all disagree, but I just could not get into this filler arc. I don't think it was great, Garbo, but compared to the rest of the show, it's just a huge quality drop. Oh. Anything else to add before we get out of here? Or before I list off who's on each thing before we get out of here, I guess? No, I'm not going to rant on this one. Trust me.
Not really.
Okay, so for people who want to know, if you get the Blu-ray, first you get a bunch of outtakes. Some of those are fucking hilarious. Including, of course, one of them imitating Yoda. For one of the scenes. Yes.
Why?
Not really. I have no idea, but I don't care. It was great. Pretty sure it was Vic.
That's... Sure.
Let's see. Mori Senpai saying, "Listen up, biatch," to Honey Senpai. That's one of my other favorite ones. A few instances.
Why are your hands so sticky?
The episode where Tamaki is saying, "Haruhi, I order you to learn how to master the," insert random dance here, but in this instance he says the funky chicken dance in 1 week. What the fuck is the funky chicken?
The chicken dance.
I want to see it. I want to see it, damn it. There's, again, there's like 40 minutes of these guys. I just listed off a couple, but they are great, and you should see if you could check them out. Now, first commentary, you get Vic and Caitlin Glass, and I didn't want to rip my hair on this one, because actually, you know, we're talking about the show itself. It didn't devolve into madness. That's how I found out about a lot of this shit. Including Caitlin Glass saying when to get into character as Haruhi, she says, "I'm not a hero, I'm an honors student." She kept saying that line to herself to get into Haruhi mode, as she put it. So, yeah. As far as the next commentary, you get Caitlin Glass, Monica Riel, and Michael Tatum. So, you know, fun. That's when Monica made that comment. But hey, at least they all agree that Vic is the only one who could play Tamaki. Monica also made a comment saying that a lot of people are going to want to punch her after she made a really bad joke on this dub, but, yeah, pretty sure her fiancé is already known for hitting women, so I don't need to say anything more on that. Was that a fucked up joke? Yes, but you all know what you all signed up for when you're here. Anyway, commentary 3. It's Caitlin, Todd, and Greg, and this is where they went into the whole thing about dubbing the twins. Again, yeah, see, on each commentary you learn shit, man. It's not like Double Decker where you learn next to nothing. Only a couple left. Okay. Commentary 4 is Caitlin Glass, Lucy Christian, and Aaron Dismuke, which I didn't even bring him up, actually. He's Chica, Honey's brother. You'd all probably know him as OG Alphonse. And here, you could tell he's mid-pubescent would be the term. His voice is still cracking hilariously with some of his lines. So, I guess you get that. Again, it is kind of funny. 5 is Caitlin Glass, Travis Willingham, and Chris Sabat. Chris Sabat is Casanova. Or Casanova, as some of the characters keep calling him and pissing him off. Typical tough guy character. Yep. Actually, the scenes where he fell for Haruhi, even though he thought Haruhi was a dude. He's like, "What's wrong with me?" were hilarious. And the last one is Caitlin Glass, Michael Tatum, and Vic to close out the show on episode 24. See, they didn't even commentate the last 2 episodes. Even they knew those 2 episodes sucked. So, yeah. Anyway, so now you all know. I guess the last thing I didn't mention before that I completely forgot to is, why were the Chibi twins still voiced by Greg and Todd when they were like 6 or 7? Yes, I'm going to harp on that when it happens in dubs. That's just stupid.
It is highly intelligible, and it's never going to change.
I know it's not. But yeah. There you go. Do I think the Blu-ray's worth picking up for all that extra shit? I mean, sure, why not? I mean, hell, it's cheap enough now.
Sure, if you're into it.
I got it for Christmas, so I didn't pay shit for it.
You paid late fees. The worst kind.
But yeah, there you go. There you go. If you all want to go watch Ouran and still sat through the spoiler section, if you haven't seen it, why not? Go watch Ouran. If you want something similar to Ouran, can't really think of much, to be honest. I mean, I guess Fruits Basket, which is clearly what it was inspired by with some of its shit.
No, clearly you should watch Pretty Boy Detective Club. It rips off Ouran.
That show is terrible. Why would you tell them that? And now they're gonna request it! You dick!
Yeah. Oh well, you win some, you lose some.
As far as if there's a season 2 coming for this, I hope not. Spoilers for the manga real quick, Dai. You said it sucks! Didn't you say the manga goes on after this, where they all stop talking to each other because Tamaki and Haruhi
move to America or something?
Yeah, and the host club fall out of touch or some shit.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Kyoya wasn't going to be in the manga originally, but it was only because the first chapter got additional pages that they decided to add them in. Could only imagine what the series would be like without Kyoya. Kyoya's one of the coolest characters.
I mean, what would it be like without the straight... to those group of lunatics?
Yeah, it would just be insanity. There'd be no break. But anyways, I hope this doesn't get a season 2 because, again, someone would be missing, and this is clearly even fucking Monica would agree. Only Vic could voice Tamaki. Let's take that for what it's worth. No one else could do it. Oh, yeah. Let this show stay where it is. A cult classic from the mid-2000s. That way
an open-ended ending, which is probably for the best with where the manga seems to go.
Yep. But hey, question for the ladies. Or the dudes if you're that way inclined. Who's best boy? Anyways, till next time, we'll be back with, coming up next, Persona 4. Is it because Arena's coming up this week? No, of course not.
That would be silly.
Anyways, hope you all have yourselves a great day. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, till next time, guys.